Hello everyone and welcome back to today's episode of I've Been Playing. Today we're talking about Fatal Frame Mask of the Lunar Eclipse. We have talked about a Fatal Frame or Project Zero or Zero game before, the latest one in the series, the Maiden of Blackwater, but this time we're going back a little bit and taking a look at Mask of the Lunar Eclipse because it just recently came out as a remaster. It was originally a Wii game and it was Japan only, so this is the first time it's been officially released in English, or I assume other languages as well. In this one, you follow three different protagonists. There's Ruka, Misaki, and Choshiro, and it revolves around this island called Rogetsu Isle that has, as many of these games do, its own sort of religion and rituals, and they've gone wrong, basically. And each of these characters has a specific connection to the area. The two ladies, Ruka and Misaki, grew up there. They don't remember a thing about it, but they did grow up there, so they're kind of exploring their past and the area's past and the whole mystery surrounding all of that. Whereas Choshiro is a detective who found them and rescued them years and years ago. I think they said a decade. And he's also looking for the doctor who treated them because they're at this facility that is part hospital. Well, I guess it's all hospital? But there are many different wings and areas and underground bits to this hospital. And it's clear that, again, something was going on. Because there's something called the I forget the name, Moonlight Syndrome, that's what it is, Moonlight Syndrome, that these girls experience, and essentially you don't want them to quote-unquote blossom because it causes issues. They're harvesting faces, that's a thing that happens in the game. Well, it doesn't happen in the game, but it's a thing they're doing on the island. And since this hasn't been released in English before, not technically, like I said, there was a mod or a hack of some sort for it. Like I said, it was on the Wii, if I remember correctly. I should double check that. But it was never officially released. So a lot of people may not have played it, may not have even realized it released yet, but in any case, I don't want to get too far into the story because people might want to experience it for themselves. Or if you don't, I mean, there's nothing I can do about that, I suppose, but I don't want to spoil it for anybody anyway, so that's all of the plot you're gonna get. Also, I haven't quite finished the game yet. I do have, I think, 2 chapters left, but not quite there yet. So I don't know how this whole thing ends. I'm gonna guess, based on the history of the games, not especially well, but who knows. As far as the gameplay goes, it's pretty standard Fatal Frame stuff. You're wandering around, you're taking pictures with your camera, you're slowly picking stuff up and then drawing back if there's a ghost hand there trying to grab at you. It's a bit of wandering around. For the most part, it's been leading me to where I need to go, but I just got lost in the last chapter I played because I wasn't paying attention, or just it didn't register that a ghost had appeared. And normally, when a ghost appears, a non-threatening ghost, or even a threatening one, you follow them because that's the correct direction. And apparently I didn't do that and I got lost for like half an hour, but most of the rest of the game has been kind of leading me towards the correct thing. And any exploration I'm doing is because I want to explore, not because I'm lost. So that's nice. I like when games know to tell you where to go subtly. I mean, it's not subtle, there are ghosts popping up and there's this loud-ass noise that goes along with it, but, you know, it could be worse. There's a lot of upgrading and stuff and lenses. One thing I am having issues with is that you have a little indicator in the bottom right of your screen that it glows blue when you're near something that you can pick up, and then you have to shine your flashlight on it to make it appear and glow. And there have been a couple of items, one specifically in a graveyard. I was there for the longest time trying to get it to appear. I don't know where it was, I don't know why it wasn't appearing for me, but I just ran away because I got assaulted by ghosts, probably because I was there for 15 minutes trying to find an item. And it was just impossible. I don't know where it was. I still don't know where it was. I don't know why it wasn't working. I was shining my flashlight on everything in that area. Didn't work. So most of the time it works fine. There have been a couple instances where it doesn't. Again, as I said, this was originally for a Wii, and the newer Fatal Frame had this as well, but you can use motion controls if you want to. I turned them off for this particular one. I don't remember if I had them on in Maiden of Blackwater or not. I think I did, and then it kind of screwed me up, so I turned them off at some point. But I've turned them off, and it feels much more natural, even if it is quite slow to swing your camera around. Although I could change that, saying that, probably. But I haven't. Overall, I think I'm enjoying it more than Maiden of Blackwater. The story is a little bit more interesting. I don't know, I'm just enjoying it more than I enjoyed Maiden of Blackwater. Not that I didn't like Maiden of Blackwater. I think Fatal Frame is probably one of my favorite horror franchises overall, but I'm liking this one more, and I don't know why. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just better written, a more interesting mystery. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the fact that I never got to play this game the first time around, so it's just inherently slightly more interesting, because I did watch it, I think, at the time, but I don't remember much about it. I don't know. I am just personally preferring it to Maiden of Blackwater. I don't know if it's my favorite of the series, but I'm preferring it more than Maiden of Blackwater. Also, it looks quite nice considering. The only thing that I'm noticing a lot, like a lot, is that the textures are extremely pixely. Like, it's a remaster, but man, does it not look like it sometimes. There are textures, especially wall textures, especially when you go to pick stuff up, the pixels are massive. Like, it's not just slightly pixely. It looks bad. When you're just running through an area, most things look okay, but when you get the zoom in camera when you're going to pick stuff up, you can absolutely see every pixel, because they're about 3 inches across. They're huge, and it's very distracting, because in general, the models and everything look good, but then you get in close and examine them a little bit more, and no, they really didn't seem to do much with them, or something happened, I don't know. I realize that as a remaster it's not going to have as much detail like that put into it necessarily, because it's not a full-on remake, but I feel like they could have tried harder. Just a little bit harder. Otherwise it looks alright, you know, from far away it looks alright for the most part. You can tell it's a little older. It came out in 2008 originally, I believe, but nothing else major. In any case, if you're a fan of the Fatal Frame franchise, wow, that is hard to say, I would recommend picking this one up. It's good, it's on everything. My cat is playing with the blinds, what are you doing? Anyway, yes, it's on everything, looks fine, runs fine, no issues there. And it's a game that we never got to play the first time around, so if you want to experience the whole franchise, now is the time to get on it. And like I said, it's everywhere, so you can play it on anything and everything if you like. In any case, that is my experience with Fatal Frame Mask of the Lunar Eclipse. So far, like I said, I'm almost at the end, so that's kind of my overall general feel for the game just as a whole. But let me know what you think down in the comments down below if you want to pick this one up, if you have, if you even realized it was out yet, because like I said, I feel like it wasn't especially advertised, but it's a good one to pick up if you enjoy survival horror in general, Fatal Frame in particular, Japanese horror, I don't know, cameras maybe? Don't go into it just for the camera aspect, because it is spooky, and the noises jump scare me every time, even though I know they're coming. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I will see you in the next episode.